Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN on ESPN Wisconsin. Here's Kyle Wallace, Ben Brust, and Brad Nortman.
It is a great day to be alive on this Monday. Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. My name is Ben Brust. Alongside me, Packer backer Kyle Wallace. Say something, Kyle.
Yeah, happy Monday, happy MLK Day, and happy welcome back Matt LaFleur Day.
To my left, Super Bowl 50 runner-up, longtime NFL punter Bradley Nortman.
Yes, happy MLK Day. It seems like we're all going to check that box. And finally...
What?
Well, I feel like you said it. Kyle said it.
So you felt obligated to say it?
Not obligated.
You didn't actually mean it?
I should just wish KBN Nation a happy MLK Day. Maybe you have no work today. Maybe you are working any capacity. Welcome into KBN, and welcome back, Matt LaFleur.
However you're getting us, you can always get us on the Carbless Talk and Text line 800-990-3776. This is more. YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. And, of course, the ESPN Wisconsin app. Alex Strofe running the show. He gets mad when I don't mention his name, so I wanted to make sure he starts the show with a smile.
Just wanted to wish everyone a happy MLK.
As Kyle mentioned, yes, it is Matt LaFleur extension. Yeah, how come people are going crazy? Yeah. Oh, I feel the enthusiasm from Kyle.
I mean, it was the inevitable. I tried to tell people this is inevitable. This is what's going to happen. You don't get rid of a guy that's won 76 games. You don't get rid of a guy that's gotten you to the playoffs 6 or 7 years. You don't get rid of a guy that basically not reincarnated but rejuvenated Aaron Rodgers' career. You don't get rid of a guy that developed Jordan Love into the stud that he is just like that because you're mad that they blew a 21-3 lead.
It's not just about the Bears game, for crying out loud. There are things in those 7 years that you mentioned that also went wrong, which would lead to the fact that I cannot believe that for the first time ever, beat writers were calling for the fact that Matt LaFleur should no longer be the head coach based off his resume of being the Green Bay Packers head coach.
They shifted their tune real quick.
Real quick.
And they never asked for him to be fired. They shifted quickly.
Strofe, let's get to how long this took, because the biggest question that we all had was, all right, what's going on with Ed Policy and Goody and Russ Ball and Matt LaFleur? And what we did find out is they were all hanging out. Boys Club, getting some drinks at the American Club in Kohler. How long did it take for them to figure out Matt LaFleur?
The contract actually took 1 day. They did not start negotiating until Friday morning, and by Friday evening, they had a handshake agreement in place.
That's Rob Domofsky from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy earlier this morning. Just like that, a half a day. After everyone was waiting and waiting, seems like it was premeditated. They already had their mind made up on what they were going to do, because just like that, they're having a nice steak dinner and the rest of Green Bay singing Kumbaya.
You know, it is pretty crazy because I thought that at least Ed Policy, new sheriff in town, would put the screws to Matt LaFleur a little bit. There's no way that you can have the heartbreaking finishes, the lack of big game play that you do, and have it be such an easy negotiation. Now, for the record, I only felt like you fire Matt LaFleur and move on if there is a clear home run Hall of Fame type candidate to replace him that you're certain will bring you closer to the Super Bowl. I wasn't sure there was a candidate out there. Maybe John Harbaugh, maybe Mike Tomlin. Clearly, those were not viable options, but so because of that reason, I'd say, okay, bringing Matt LaFleur back is fine. But the fact that this is like a long-term type commitment, no level of prove-it deal, and the fact that it took 1 day, honestly less than 1 day to iron out and get through the details, it leads me to believe that Ed Policy, this was the plan all along. He wasn't even considering other options. And I'm just a little bit surprised that there wasn't more hardball played and a little bit more of prove it, because he hasn't proven that he can bring the Packers to a Super Bowl, not even close. So to me, I'm not surprised Matt LaFleur is coming back, but I'm surprised that Ed Policy rolled over as much as he did to make sure he brought him back.
The way I look at this, and again, you have to look at the full 7 years, but the way I look at this is that the Aaron Rodgers year's door has closed, and then we opened up a brand new book, not a new chapter, a brand new book in Packers history when it comes to the LaFleur and Love time. And again, it's only been 3 seasons, and we all want Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl, but at the end of the day, I do think we saw progression. Now, the record did not show it this year as the Packers lost the last 5 games, but there were things that hampered the Packers' ability to finish the season the way that they did. So overall, when I look at it, the most important thing that we all should think about is the consistency and continuity between Love and LaFleur. That is the thing that means the most, that you don't have to worry about bringing in some new coach with some new system, that not only do they have to establish an identity for a full team, but they have to figure out what is going to work with Jordan Love. Let's be very honest. Whatever LaFleur is doing with Love has worked so far, and I feel like there's still more growth for them to go. That's why this was the right decision to make, to bring Matt LaFleur back to the Green Bay Packers. I believe the Packers championship window is wide open currently, and I do believe Matt LaFleur can finally get them over the hump.
Now, LaFleur's extended. Listening to Sunday Karma with Kyle Wallace, Alex Strofe, seeing some clips from Mr. Irrelevant, and just seeing the overall feel as to the sentiment around Matt LaFleur, right? From reporters writing he shouldn't be back to now this quick deal was done between Ed Policy and Matt LaFleur, like boom. I think we're at a point now where, Kyle, I'll give you credit where since the beginning you have been, I want Matt LaFleur. But there is, okay, that's not important. You've been consistent on wanting Matt LaFleur. But let's not act like there hasn't been a lot of Packer faithful that has been like, yes, we have to bring back Matt LaFleur. Have to versus just it kind of happened is where we're at. So when you go 7 years, it's the same story. You're 3-6 in the playoffs. Packers fans right now, I feel like, are probably doing mental gymnastics to convince yourself that this is the right thing for the organization. Because the way that we're doing this now is when you're talking about if there was somebody better for the team in this hiring cycle, probably been more frustration. Now it's going to be like everything that we've talked about with Matt LaFleur. As soon as it's, Brad said it last week, a close game that he blows or a timeout situation, everything's going to be heightened 10x. But I don't know if the organization is going to feel that way, which is, as a fan, would be really frustrating because on the margins, looking at this year and I know those injuries, it was a lost opportunity. And what happens if there's another lost opportunity with Matt LaFleur as head coach and they give him more years because he's locked in and they don't want to pay the money to buy him out? And they're like, again, this commitment in one day shows me that they are very committed to Matt LaFleur. And I feel like it's just been a flip of a switch from Packer fans that are like, there's still some that aren't happy. I do know that. But the ones that were like, I woke up the next day, I'm fine with Matt. Like, are you? Because what's going to happen when the same thing happens next year with Matt under the guidance of him?
Yeah, and I don't feel the sense of urgency that Packer fans feel. The organization is not reflecting or not acting with the same sense of urgency that Packer fans feel and even us on this show feel. That's where I felt like a message could be delivered. And honestly, a message is delivered through this. Ed Policy is sending us and sending Packer Nation a message. What he's saying is, you know what? Status quo, I'm good with it. I'm good. I'm good with being good. I'm good with a B+ organization. That's not an AA+ that was even scratchy on the Super Bowl. I felt like a message of urgency could be communicated by a shorter term extension, by more of a turn up the fire, but instead the exact opposite happened. He came and he doused the flames. He said, you know what? We're not freaking out here. We're just going to take this thing nice and easy. There's no pressure. There's no sense of urgency. We're just going to keep on doing this.
How do you like your steak? Medium rare, medium?
Yeah.
You know, do you want the extra bottle of wine? Oh, everything's great.
Everything's nice and easy. And I feel like that is a message in and of itself. To me, I still don't have any confidence in Matt LaFleur to win the big game. I don't have any confidence in a big playoff moment. I don't have any confidence that a big lead cannot be reclaimed. But Ed Policy is saying, you know what? This sense of urgency, this tension of not being able to progress, because I actually disagree with you, Kyle. I don't think they are progressing. I think they're staying who they are. It's all good. We're not going to freak out. I think fans feel urgency. I don't think the organization feels urgency.
I just think the biggest thing is that with the team that you have, the coach that you have, and where I do think there's some young players that are coming up with the Packers organization. And I do think even the last game of Matthew Golden, I feel like what we saw in that last game is going to be a reflection of more Matthew Golden next year, especially if Romeo Doubs moves on. I just believe that this team is getting closer. And I think when you keep a coach here, that means we consistently know what the floor is going to be. And once you get into the playoffs, any given Saturday or Sunday and sometimes Monday in the first round, you have to win. You have a chance to pop through. And I think that is what the Green Bay Packers want. They want to consistently be able to have an opportunity to take shots. And they believe that with Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love, they are going to eventually break through.
Whether they believe it or not, do you believe?
No, I do believe they're going to break through.
Why?
Why?
What evidence do you have for Matt LaFleur?
I keep trying
and
to
Goody, who didn't build the depth.
Exactly. The depth is a problem. But again, I keep looking back at what this team looked like, and it makes me believe that when guys come back healthy next year, because you're going to get a whole boatload of guys back next season, and then you should add in more guys and guys who are going to be a year older. I do believe that this team was a Super Bowl contender caliber type team. You are seeing a Denver Broncos team who will be playing in the AFC Championship game that the Packers had on the ropes ready to beat. So I do believe this season, this team had everything they needed to win a Super Bowl, and they went down to Denver without already having Tucker Kraft. Now you tell me all these guys come back, and then you add in more guys to plug holes that you see at the cornerback position, at the defensive tackle position. Maybe you find a pass rusher. You figure out there's different little areas that
sounds like they're really close.
No, they are really
just
close.
listed off 8 things they need to fix.
So you believe if Michael Parsons, and we could take out Tucker Kraft, but you think if Michael Parsons and Zach Tom never go down, do you think this team is playing in the NFC Championship next weekend?
It's hard for me to trust Matt LaFleur.
They're not playing in the NFC Championship game.
Based off what you saw yesterday with the Rams and the Bears, but you're telling me you don't believe that this team could beat both of those teams healthy?
But remember, this team, you have to think of the Packers as well. Nobody's really fearing the Packers like none of these other teams are feared either.
No, nobody's fearing the Packers like that because it's all very even, but I believe the Packers beat the Bears. I think the Packers could for sure have beaten the Rams as well.
You went into the wild card saying, I'm so happy they're playing the Panthers or the Bears because they would lose to everybody else.
We're talking about if Michael Parsons and Zach Tom were healthy. I'm saying if those two guys were still on this
roster. How many
roster,
times are we going to do if as a Green Bay Packer?
My whole point is this is the mindset. If you thought this
Matt
Packers
LaFleur
team,
gets a pass.
if you thought this team could win a Super Bowl when they went down to Denver, if you thought the team could win a Super Bowl at that point, what in the hell changed in your mind?
The difference is
the results because guys got injured and guys got hurt. That's what I'm saying.
Those are regular season games, though, Kyle. We cannot trust Matt LaFleur in the big games. Now,
he's been to an NFC Championship twice.
And those didn't go well.
He choked in them, but still, I'm just saying.
In both of those, they had a bye, so all you need to do is win
and
one
a Hall
game.
of Fame quarterback.
Again, I'm standing on the fact that I do believe what I saw this year would make me believe that this team has an opportunity to be a Super Bowl contender again. This season, I firmly believe if you don't lose your best offensive lineman and your best defensive lineman, on top of that, you lost Elton Jenkins as well. But you don't lose those two guys, I think this team is playing this upcoming week.
Are Ed Policy and Mark Antanasio related? Is my job to win a championship or provide a season of entertainment along the way for families to come together? That's our guy, Brent.
That's actually
in the 262.
Brent, who would you rather hire, Brent? You want to hire Harbaugh, who ain't won a damn title since before the Packers won theirs, or Mike Tomlin?
But why are we acting like... I know Matt LaFleur would have been one of the hottest guys in the coaching circles, but, I have an exercise we're going to do with Kyle coming up next. We have to.
Oh, I like exercise.
We have to. I want both Packer backers, Alex Strofe and Kyle Walsh. I'm going to ask you yes or no questions about Matt LaFleur. And you can't give reasons. You just have to say yes. All right?
This sounds like a one-sided game we're being set up.
No. We're going to revisit things that we think are worth revisiting if you say something that seems a little bit, I don't know, maybe like you're lying. I feel like this is the Matt LaFleur lie detector test.
Okay, you could.
I'm getting a little scared now.
I'm standing 10 toes down behind Matt LaFleur in 2026.
Oh, trust me, I've heard the last 2 weeks how behind Matt LaFleur you are. We'll be back with more Kyle, Brust, and Nortman next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
What's going on? Big, come on.
It's getting tough. It's getting slow.
Ben, don't be pathetic. Your father's with your baby. They're listening. You gotta be better.
But I'm giving it my all. I don't know what you're at either.
Stop humping the ground.
Yeah.
Get up.
on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. The best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
I would just say that right now I think all options are on the table. I think that they went through that trade thing and they talked to teams, and it's not like those talks are shut down.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30. Sponsored by Island Resort and Casino, Tony Wendorf and Associates, and Smart 18 Union on 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
When a trophy is raised, it can feel like the season's over, but on the ESPN app, it never really is. Because with more than 47,000 live events, plus originals, highlights, and coverage from every corner of the sports world, there's always something to dive into. No off-season, just everything a fan needs to keep going. Always in season, get all of ESPN all in one place. Download the ESPN app on your TV or phone today.
Rock a big win this January at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. Don't miss your chance to win a share of $60,000 in prizes every week. Just play with your rewards card for entries. Prize drawings on Thursdays. Plus, your January drawing entries all roll into an even bigger prize drawing in March. Rock on all month long, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Hi, I'm Brittany Miller from Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more. Custom T-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, hats, you name it, we can do it. Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more is family owned and all about celebrating life's big moments. Maybe it's a milestone birthday, a celebration for your child's first goal, or that work fundraising event. We are everyone's printer. No minimum orders, affordable designs, and help straight from me and our team. We're the one-stop shop for all your custom needs. Start your project today at bigfrog.com/Mequon.
Start the year moving, not hurting. If your joint pain has been slowing you down, then listen up. There is a way to get real relief without surgery, without downtime, and without putting your life on hold. Dr. Ashley Caravelli and her team at QC Kinetics here in Milwaukee offer regenerative treatments designed to help your body repair the areas causing pain. Knees, hips, shoulders, or back, wherever it hurts. Instead of an invasive operation that takes you out of commission for months, these treatments are done right in the office. You walk in, you walk out, and you get on with your day. No 3 to 6 months recovery. Picture this instead. You're moving better, you're feeling stronger, actually planning the year that you want because you finally took care of that pain the smart way. Game-changing regenerative treatment from QC Kinetics. January is your clean slate, so make it count. Call now for your free consultation at QC Kinetics. Call 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
Rick, tell Sarah about the practical joke you came up with.
Okay, Sarah, this is really great. Are you ready?
Rick, I'm always ready. I walk around in a constant state of readiness.
A man buys a woman a pair of diamond stud earrings from Kessler's.
So far, this doesn't sound like much of a practical joke. Be patient. He's not done yet.
And then on her birthday, or Valentine's Day, or Mother's Day, or Tuesday, he sneaks them out of her jewelry box and replaces them with a larger pair.
Well, as practical jokes go, this one sounds delightful, but it also sounds expensive. No, he bought them at Kessler's, remember?
When you buy diamond stud earrings from Kessler's,
and we have them for $180 to $24,000 a pair,
you always get 100% of the price you paid when you trade up for a larger pair.
He just pays the difference?
He just pays the difference.
I love practical jokes. When do I get my first pair? For the Kessler's nearest you, go to KesslersDiamonds.com.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. Matt LaFleur has been extended. I'm Ben Brust alongside complacent Kyle Wallace and Super Bowl 50 runner-up Brad Nortman. Alex Strofe is running the show. 800-990-3776 is the Carbless Talking text line. You can get us on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison.
That mic gives you way too much power to characterize us.
Complacent Kyle?
Yeah,
that was a text message from one of our teammates, actually.
Oh, wow.
Who's that?
An enemy from within.
Tosa?
Josh DiMaggio.
He's mad now, too?
No, he's just calling you complacent because that's what you sound like.
Oh, Josh DiMaggio.
We'll figure it out how complacent you are together here. I've compiled some questions. I call this almost like a Matt LaFleur lie detector because they're very simple questions. Strofe, I'd love for you to be involved. The two Packer backers, Strofe and Kyle of KBN, you are going to be posed with some questions. Just need to say yes or no. I'm stealing this from Green Bay Game Day, Strofe.
Greatest game in radio, yes or no?
All right. Yes or no questions that our Packer backers on the show here have to answer about Matt LaFleur. What order would you guys like to go in? We'll rotate. I make the rules around here. Kyle first, and then Strofe, and then we'll flip-flop.
That might give some power.
He's got
Drunk on power.
Ready? Ready, Kyle? Your first question, yes or no?
Sure.
If Matt LaFleur were coaching any other NFC team, would you be afraid to face him in January? Yes or no?
Possibly.
No, it's yes or no.
Isn't that what Jason does?
Yeah, but you're not Jason.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Come on, give me an opinion, yes or no?
Would I be afraid to face Matt LaFleur in January? Yeah.
High voice, mark that. Strofe?
Conviction.
I guess it's dependent on the team.
Oh, my gosh. You guys suck. Just give an opinion, yes or no.
They're worms trying to wiggle their way out.
This shows me, they're already showing me everything I need to know. They're not like...
Well, that's like saying...
They're in between Matt LaFleur.
But that's like saying if Sean McVay wasn't the coach of the Rams, would you be more afraid to face him in January?
This is about Matt LaFleur.
But the Packers have beaten Sean McVay in January every time they faced him, but he's probably the better coach. So
Thank you.
I don't.
Next
I don't
question,
like the
then, since you guys want to weasel your way out of actually giving a yes or no.
It's a bad question.
Do you... Hey, how about we keep going here? We got a lot more. Stop complaining because you already don't like the game, and you're already being called out for your high voice that we don't believe. Do you trust Matt LaFleur more today than you did 3 years ago? Yes or no, Strofe?
Yes.
No.
Okay. Finally, an honest answer from somebody.
Oh!
Do you believe Matt LaFleur elevates his team in the biggest moments? Yes or no?
I'm sorry.
Do you believe Matt LaFleur elevates his team in the biggest moments? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
So now you guys are doing a bit together. You're not actually going to answer these honestly.
Because we don't answer the way you want.
No, because you're just proving the point that you guys are scared to actually give your opinion about the coach.
Just because we had a couple collapses this year doesn't mean that we haven't had big moments before for Matt LaFleur. That's the problem.
3 and 6 in the playoffs.
Okay,
not in the biggest moments. Not in the biggest moments.
Sure. Because beating, like he just said, beating the Rams wasn't a big moment. Beating the Cowboys wasn't a big moment. Like I'm just saying, like
Kyle, if Matt LaFleur never coached Aaron Rodgers, would his resume still impress you?
Maybe.
Oh, the answer's definitely
well. If it has to do with just Jordan Love, then yes,
absolutely.
But
yeah.
I don't know who we coached in 4 years before that, but yeah, Jordan Love. He's been to the playoffs back to back years with a quarterback that some people thought wasn't good, and all of a sudden turned into a guy that was teetering on.
This is yes
MVP
or no.
caliber.
We'll revisit the ones that we'll come back to.
He's brought the youngest team in the league to the playoffs 3 straight years. My answer is yes.
Okay.
That was an easy one.
If this same season happened again next year, would you still defend Matt LaFleur?
No.
Ooh.
Complacent Strofe.
Less.
Huh?
Good answer.
I'd defend him less.
Good answer.
If Matt LaFleur were fired tomorrow, would your first reaction be panic? Yes or no?
Yes.
No.
Brad, anything stand out to you from these two goons?
Well, the first question was still very... There's a lack of gumption on the first question.
That question sucked.
Kyle had a high-pitched yes, and Strofe refused to answer.
What was the first question? Are you afraid of him in January?
Yes.
Yeah.
If he was coaching other NFC teams.
Yes, if you were going against him and he took a different team.
Sean McVay is the best coach in the NFC. Any argument? Sean McVay is the best coach in the NFC.
What's Sean McVay's record against Matt LaFleur?
In January, it starts with a 0.
How many times has Matt LaFleur and Sean McVay matched up with Jordan Love? With his 1-4, 1-3 playoff.
Well, in January, 0 times.
In the regular season, once
sample size.
Who cares about the regular season?
Last year.
You're all about just the regular season success.
He gave you an example.
Matt LaFleur owns the best coach in the NFC. Period.
I would say Aaron Rodgers
never
does.
What was the venue in which they played? They played Rodgers
with
divisional
Love
round.
at LA last year. Jaden Reed had that awesome catch in
These
triple
are regular
coverage.
season
that
games.
means he's 2-0 against them with Love.
Who was that quarterback?
No, you're thinking of his first season. That was Brett Rippon. No, last year it was Stafford. 2024 they beat him on the road.
Again, I just
Regular
wanted to
season.
see.
So
I wanted to see how much confidence there was in these questions, and there wasn't a ton of confidence. It was, I don't want to play your game because it will expose how I actually feel about that.
I understood the point on the rest of them. The first question probably could have been phrased better, but I probably would have given you the answer you wanted, which is no. But I didn't understand the question. The rest of the questions,
no, you did. You just wanted to be difficult.
Yeah, of course. Because look, I'm defending the move. I think it's the right move. I think consistency is better than complacency, and it's different than complacency. I don't view this as a complacent move because it's coming with the asterisk of evolution is necessary. Last year, you didn't make any major staff changes outside of your defensive line coach. If they do that again this offseason, if they don't make any major changes except, say, defensive coordinator because Halfley gets a job, then it's a failure. Then we have to revisit why the extension was given to him. But as of this moment right now, I'm fine with the extension as long as that comes with staff evolution.
I'm surprised on question 9, Strofe, that the question was if the
question
same thing.
9? We did 9 questions.
No, it's just on the list, dude.
Yeah.
Just
for Ben's reference. The second last question that was answered, if the same year happened, would you defend Matt LaFleur? An emphatic no from Kyle, and a less. I can't believe it's not a straight-up no. How could a 7th seed first-round exit
9-7-1?
Well, he said the same exact season, so that means we lose several key players.
I took that out because that would be crazy. If that was the case back-to-back years, that just sucks.
Anything short of Jordan Love getting hurt for that game.
Let me ask you guys this. The playoff game last week, we're over a week removed now. Does Matt LaFleur fall number 1 on your power rankings of people that deserve blame?
Yes.
And we're fundamentally misunderstanding, or then we're talking about a different game.
Who do you blame?
Brandon McManus is number 1. Jeff Halfley's number 2.
So Matt LaFleur's lack of success getting 6 points, and I know there's some missed field goals, but not getting into the end zone when they scored 21 points in the first half, that's more important to me than putting in a position where the kicker is the most important
Not
piece.
finding a way to sustain drives.
No, I hear you. I certainly think there's issues to be addressed. But
it's such a lame excuse to put it on the kicker when in the game the coach controls so much more.
It's not a lame excuse to put it on the kicker because the kicker executes the way he's supposed to.
He left 11 points out there. He missed 7 and he cost them 4.
And the fact that he missed the extra point and he missed a little chip shot of 40 what was it, 46 yards, 44 yards?
44 yards.
I mean, you're supposed to make that in your sleep.
How do you defend, though, all the times that they could close out the game, right? I mean, the 44-yard miss was a 1st and 10 on the 21. And then they ended up with a 4th and 15 from the 26 for the 44-yard field goal that he missed. They should have made. McManus should have made all those kicks. There's no doubt about it. But there is a game flow and there is a trend with Matt LaFleur in the big moments that I don't know how you can have confidence in.
I just think you guys are nitpicking and choosing what games that you want to look at. When you look at the Packers versus Lions game, what did the Packers do? The Packers closed out the Lions in Detroit. When you look at the Packers versus Bears game, the first one, guess what? The game tied up to 21-21. The Packers went downfield, scored a touchdown, and got an interception to seal that game away as well.
There were 6 games where they blew leads.
Here we go. But they also
there's more examples for us than there is for the success of actually. Being a first read open and Keyshawn Nixon making the interception.
Give and take. The fact that the Green Bay Packers almost every single game this year, minus that, I don't count the Vikings game because they didn't try, minus that Ravens game, the Packers were within striking distance in every single loss. That is, to me, that just shows you that a team that they just need to figure things out. The coach needs to get better. The players need to learn how to finish games, and sometimes that's just a reflection of the youth and youngness of a team. Now,
that's what I want to stay with here quick, because Derek chimes in. Amazing how former athletes are blaming the head coach and not the guys who play. Weird. I think for the examples that Brad uses a lot, and the only example that I truly have from a Naismith Hall of Fame coach is the utmost accountability, and it's fine. You don't like when we're going to make an argument that goes against yours.
Oh, just said cool. That's cool, is it not? Bo Ryan is cool.
There was an accountability. There was a healthy fear, but still a relationship. There's too much playing different people in who Matt LaFleur is, the buddy guy. Then when things go wrong, he's the tough guy. Like, this is what we always come back to. You can give your examples. I can give mine. And that's why I put it on him, because the trends you see are mistakes that are happening year over year that aren't changing. And you're like, all right, that starts at the top. The players can't be held accountable to a certain level unless the coach does.
Yeah, I think Jordan Love is the biggest recipient of this. I think he's going to benefit from Matt LaFleur. But outside of that, you look at how this team plays. Sometimes they look amazing. Other times they look horrible. That level of inconsistency, I can only point to culture and I can only point to coaching. If they never played at an elite level, whether it be for games, halves, weeks, whatever it is, then I would say, you know what? I think that maybe these players are just not good. They just can't compete. But they look amazing one moment, then they look horrible the next.
So you don't
That's
believe
coaching.
So you don't believe Matt LaFleur can pull it all together? Because when we're looking at these seasons, I'll take off the first season because the first season the Packers were trying to find themselves and they did late. You look at last season, the Packers struggled with what in the 2024 season, beating really good teams.
Mm-hmm.
Now this season they still didn't beat a lot of good teams, but they beat some of the teams like the Lions that they wanted to get after. And it seems to me that the Packers went from being able to beat the bad teams and not beat the great ones to being able to beat, I would say, a lot of good teams this year. The Lions are still good. They just didn't end up not having a great season. I feel like they just need to come together and be able to consistently play good football where they're not just looking to get hyped up to beat the Lions because the Lions beat them the last year.
I fully expect the Packers to make the playoffs and maybe even win a game. But if Matt LaFleur is in a chess match, in a playoff game with other good coaches and other good teams, I don't know how his track record can give you any confidence going forward. I think he's a good coach. He's a B, and he's going to help Jordan Love be the best version of himself. But taken holistically as a head coach, I'm going to be concerned the minute that big win-or-go-home game.
Holistically.
5 seasons with Love and LaFleur, we should know all we need to know. 2 years from now, when it comes to we're having this conversation.
So he has to win a Super Bowl in 2 years.
And by 2028, by January of 2028, we should be having a conversation. If Matt LaFleur, if the season's over and the Packers haven't won a Super Bowl yet, then we know, hey, maybe it's time to move on.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I
agree with that.
I agree as well. I think even with the commitment and whatever that is, and we probably never find out if it's 3 years, if it's 3 additional years that equals 4 total. I think he gets 2 more. I think we're entering year 2 of a 3-year all-in window for Green Bay. So a Super Bowl, at least getting there, is a huge, huge, huge piece of this. But yeah, I think he's a good head coach. I think there's plenty of blame to go around this season in terms of some of those collapses, right? Like the one in Cleveland, I think there's more blame to go on Bisaccia and Love. The second one in Chicago, I don't know how you possibly blame LaFleur. The first game in Chicago, but the second matchup between the two teams of the 3. You can blame LaFleur enough for the playoff loss, but that offensive line was crumbled, and they looked horrible in the second half. Thus, the inconsistencies offensively. And LaFleur deserves a lot of credit for the way they came out in that game. Right? They scored touchdowns on, I think it was the first 3 drives, 2 of which were over 85 yards. Those are impressive drives that he orchestrated. So,
again, this is what my overall point was, is now the decision is made, Packer fans that were on the fence are going to be looking at all the reasons why this is going to work. That's just how I feel. 800-990-3776. How do you feel? Hit us on the Carbless Talking text line. The Bills did something the Packers didn't, even with McDermott's 8-8 playoff record in comparison to the 3-6 of Matt LaFleur. What's the difference between the two? Is there one? You tell us. Bills moved on from McDermott. LaFleur extended. Next.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
Let them know the dread-headed brother loves the Green Bay Packers. When you see me, Goody, let me in the box.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Tired of waking up exhausted? That dad bod weighing you down? Let's get you back to the old you. If your energy, focus, and drive aren't what they used to be, your hormones could be out of balance. At Mentality, we'll dig into what's really going on. Then build a personalized, science-backed plan using hormone therapy and peptide treatments to get your brain and your body back on track. So stop telling yourself you're just getting older. Book your appointment now at lowtusa.com. Right now, all new patient labs are covered in your treatment plan. That's a savings of $250. Go to lowtusa.com.
Your New Year routine just got a major refresh thanks to Carbless. Staying mindful, Carbless has 0 sugar and 0 carbs. Watching calories? We've got you covered. Still want something bold and delicious? Well, that's our specialty at Carbless. Whether you're out celebrating or settling into post-holiday goals, Carbless keeps things light, fun, and completely guilt-free. Start your 2026 with flavor and no compromise. Celebrate the new year with bold flavor, 0 guilt, and a drink that keeps things light. Happy New Year from Carbless. Let's make your new year feel flawless.
Kick off the new year with a smarter home and bigger savings with Exterior Pros and Baths. New windows to lock in the warmth, durable roofing, eye-catching siding, or a stunning bath makeover. Start the year off right and get $3,000 off your project. That's right, $3,000 back in your pocket during our New Year savings event. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. This deal won't last all winter. Exterior Pros and Baths. New year, new home, done right.
With your Saganaw Pawnee Marquette recap, I'm Chris Larson. Marquette led at halftime but couldn't hold on at DePaul, falling 80-75 in Chicago. The Golden Eagles controlled the first half, but DePaul surged in the second as Marquette slipped to 6-13 overall and 1-7 in Big East play. One steady presence all night was Nigel James Jr. The freshman guard led Marquette with 18 points and 8 assists, keeping the Golden Eagles within reach down the stretch.
James open three good. James now with 13, and Marquette needs them all.
Marquette looks to bounce back tonight at home against Providence.
Your business is unique, and your health plan should be too. At United Healthcare, our group health plans are built for you and your employees. Whether you're running a small startup or managing a large enterprise, we offer solutions designed to fit your needs, your goals, and your budget. Explore your options today at uhc.com/Wisconsin. Insurance coverage provided by or through United Healthcare Insurance Company or its affiliates. Administrative services provided by United Healthcare Services, Inc. or their affiliates. Health plan coverage provided by or through United Healthcare of Wisconsin, Inc.
Don't miss a full day of nonstop basketball action at the Deer District Prep Showcase Saturday, January 24th at Fiserv Forum. See the next generation of stars as 12 elite high school boys basketball teams take over the court for 6 can't-miss games. Watch Slinger, Freedom, Arrowhead, West Dallas Central, Racine Lutheran, and more all in one place. General admission is just $20, and that gets you access to all 6 games. Check the full schedule and grab your tickets now at FiservForum.com. Be there. Feel the energy. The Deer District Prep Showcase Saturday, January 24th.
My husband's an animal in bed.
Well, you know.
Not in the fun way. Think warthog. With a chainsaw.
Snoring and sleep apnea affect over 90 million people, and 1 out of 4 couples sleep in separate rooms. Advent can help. We've been Milwaukee's one-stop solution for nasal congestion, snoring, and sleep apnea for over 20 years. Unlike many other practices, we focus exclusively on these conditions, so you get comprehensive care under one roof. Advent's unique approach can help you breathe and sleep better, and many avoid a CPAP. Plus, most insurance is accepted for our effective 20-minute in-office treatments.
Hey, the only animal you want in your bed is your dog.
Advent. Sleep better. Sleep together. Learn how you can improve your life at adventknows.com.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. Get us on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee, at ESPN Madison, and of course the ESPN Wisconsin app. Ben Brust, complacent Kyle, Super Bowl runner-up Brad, and Strofe running the show. Let's go to Jason and Tosa on the Carbless Talk and Text line. Matt LaFleur extended. You've heard our conversations. What are your thoughts today?
Yeah, I have a question for you guys. Matt LaFleur now has a 3-6 playoff record, which I believe is the worst record of any coach in the Super Bowl era who's coached that many playoff games, other than the late Marty Schottenheimer. And I think with today's McDermott firing, he's also the longest tenured head coach in the NFL not to have led his team to at least a Super Bowl appearance. Then in contrast, I look at next weekend's games. New England has a first-year head coach. Seattle has a second-year head coach. And Denver has a third-year head coach. And they're all trying to advance to a Super Bowl, something we haven't done around Green Bay in 15 years. I'd like to ask you guys, we haven't been to a Super Bowl in 15
trying to advance to a Super Bowl.
Been to a Super Bowl. You get his point. You don't need to kill him.
There's a big difference. I'll let him know why.
Okay. Haven't been in one in 15 years. And Matt LaFleur, I'd just like to know, maybe from those who are objective instead of carrying Matt's water, why is Green Bay so different than the rest of the NFL? And why should the Packer fans have any belief he's going to lead the team to a Super Bowl? Because other than John Madden, no one has been in place as long as he has, never appeared in a Super Bowl. and then got into the Super Bowl, and that was in year 8 by John Madden, and he retired. I open it up. I'd love to hear why Green Bay is so different and so much more knowledgeable than the rest of the NFL.
Well, we appreciate the call, Jason and Tosa.
See, my whole thing with Jason and Tosa is this.
Do you got the buckets of water in your arms?
I am carrying a bucket because
he doesn't want to hear from you.
Because there was once a time where people were having the same conversation about Matt LaFleur. Oh, Matt LaFleur, year 1, year 2, year 3, he's able to get the Packers to an NFC Championship game. Like he just talked about guys who got teams somewhere year 1 or year 2 to an NFC Championship game. Year 3, hello. Didn't Matt LaFleur do the same thing? So, again, I agree. I'm not satisfied with the fact that we have not gotten over the hump, but you're giving an example of a destination that Matt LaFleur has already been to. You're talking about the conference championship game. That was the example that he gave. He said you got coaches year 1, year 2, and year 3 or year 4 when it comes to the Denver Broncos. Matt LaFleur's been there. He's a week too early.
Choked in 2020. 2019 was a great season, no matter what way you put it. 13 wins, NFC Championship appearance in the first season. 2021 was a disaster. His offense could not put up points. 2022, terrible. He blew the game to make the playoffs. 2023 success.
Blew the game. It wasn't Aaron Rodgers who blew the game.
Both. But again, he's been a part of the franchise for 7 years as part of these data points. 2022. He lose a de facto playoff game at home. It's like there's more.
He gave praise to these coaches who early on are able to get their teams to a conference championship game, at the same time trying to criticize Matt LaFleur. I understand that we have other years to show that Matt hasn't been able to get this team over the hump, but you saying, oh my gosh, look what Mike Vrabel's able to do year 1. Oh my gosh, look at what McDonald's able to do year 2. Matt LaFleur been there, done that. Now, once those guys get to a championship, then
because Sam Darnold and Drake May in his second year are the same as Aaron Rodgers.
There's things that are different about it, but I'm just saying the coach has gotten there before.
Yeah, and the hard part is that these young coaches, not young, but young with their teams, they're mostly taken over during a time of upheaval. Like the Patriots were not good last year. When McDonald took over for the Seahawks, they were just okay. So you're talking about Peyton with the Broncos, they were bad. So it's not the same if the Packers were to move on from LaFleur in the same situation. However, I don't know. It goes to the same question. The Packers, particularly in this new chapter, this new book of Jordan Love, they haven't been serious Super Bowl contenders when it's mattered most the entire time. Right? And the question is, how long do you give them? I believe that's what the caller is getting at, is these other guys have younger, less accomplished quarterbacks than Jordan Love, and they've been with the organization less time than Matt LaFleur. So how much time are we going to give Matt LaFleur before they are real threats when it matters most in the playoffs? The Packers haven't been a real threat in the playoffs this whole time under Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur. I just don't know how much confidence you can have that next year anything's going to be any different.
I definitely think that's a fair assessment, a very fair assessment. But when I look at the coaches that we're talking about, you're talking about a Sean McVay, you're talking about a Payton, you're talking about a Vrabel. All three of those coaches are very good. Mike Vrabel, correct me if I'm wrong, he's been to an AFC Championship with the Tennessee Titans. I believe he got him to an AFC Championship.
I think you're right.
You're right.
He's an excellent.
We played against him a bunch in Jacksonville. He's a good coach.
He's an excellent coach. McVay and Payton are Super Bowl championship coaches. So I mean, McDonald, he's showing himself coming from a great pedigree that he is. Really,
you call him
really
McDonald?
Good. Isn't it?
It's McDonald.
McDonald.
It's McDonald.
It's McDonald.
I feel like it's it's pronounced differently.
I mean, if you go
McDonald.
If you go come
McDonald.
If you go come from,
where'd you get your double cheeseburger from?
McDonald's.
Mike McDonald.
It's McDonald. Kyle, I'm glad you pointed that out because Sean Payton was the head coach of the Saints for 15 years and he only got the Super Bowl once. And we're acting like this guy's like the second coming all of a sudden. Because he brought the Broncos
it was fairly
to the
earlier in his time.
Yeah, he went in 2009. And then he was the head coach until, 3 years ago?
But
he never went back.
It's fine. But I just feel like, again, what has Love and LaFleur done? Take away the Hall of Fame quarterback, and I know that's part of it, but you can also point at some things LaFleur did wrong then. This is when you're supposed to be progressing in your career, and he's been 7 seed.
Again, you are just looking at the end result, and you're not looking at what happened, how they got to the end result. That's all All I'm saying is
2023 was his best season.
So if the Packers end up beating the Bears, you're not mad at Matt LaFleur.
It would prove more that he's be able to be trusted in a big moment. But the loss continues to build up evidence
on the resume.
Can't be trusted in those big moments.
That's fair. I'm just trying to get to the bottom of what has led us to this point where we don't believe in Matt whatsoever. It is the terrible loss that they had against the Chicago Bears, where they're up 21-3 at halftime, and they absolutely crumbled. I get it, and that was basically the final straw for a lot of y'all to say you have no belief that Matt LaFleur is ever going to be able to win the big game for the Packers. That's fair. That's your opinion. You have every right to that. I'm looking at it from the sense of, yes, that game sucked, and it did show some chinks in the armor with the fact that, oh my gosh, how did they allow this to happen? But at the end of the day, I still think when you look at the bigger picture of what happened this season, I still have confidence that the Packers, if healthy, could have went further.
Well, that's true. We'll never quite know. And I do believe, if you're going to press me on get rid of Matt LaFleur, who's your guy? There's not a lot of great candidates out there that I would say, oh, yeah, I know for sure the Packers are going to get out in the playoffs with this guy. But I just...
But did they know for sure that when they hired McDonald in Seattle that they would be where they are right now with Sam Darnold?
This whole move is characterized by safety, right? It's like you know what you're going to get out of Matt LaFleur. They're going to get to the playoffs next year, the next 2 years. That's kind of what we're giving Matt LaFleur. They're going to be a playoff team for 2 straight years. You just know that. I don't think they're going to be a Super Bowl team. And the question is, are you willing to risk it? Are you willing to risk it for a greater return?
I'm just
but at fear that the team takes a step back.
So you don't think that the Packers? No. So do you think it's a lack of talent or a lack of coach? Why you don't think this is a Super Bowl team? You don't think that this team can play at a high level that they show in the middle of the season? You don't think they can get back to that?
I'm suspicious that the games become too big for Matt LaFleur.
Okay,
and I think he prepares well. Clearly, he prepares well because usually the first half he's cooking. You saw that in that Bears game.
Yeah.
Adjustments are made. Big coaching moments of do I take a timeout? Do I not take a timeout? How do I do this late in games? He just hasn't proven to me that he can be trusted in those big moments.
Did anyone feel themselves watching a little bit different last night?
Listen, that was the first time in my life that I watched an opposing team that way, where all I wanted to do is see them fail.
I want to dive deeper into that next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Dick Van Dyke, real quick on the cha-cha slide ACL, says she was carried out by all 5 of us. 5 people?
That's a big girl. That's a big girl. Yeah, that's a big girl who did cha-cha.
Stop it, Kyle.
What you mean? 5 of them had to carry. That's a big girl. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Truth Nation, mark your calendars for Friday, February 20th, as we will be hosting our 2nd annual Truth Community Awards, hosted by the legendary Home, Blow, and Bailey Cope. Tickets are on sale now. Visit 1017truthawards.com to learn more. The Truth Community Awards are sponsored by Milwaukee College Prep, the Milwaukee Bucks, Gruber, Steinhoffel, Cousin Subs, and 3rd Street Market Hall. Come celebrate with us on Friday, February 20th at the Truth Community Awards from 5:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Do not miss out on the best community awards event of the year.
Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center is teeing off the new year with another can't-miss tournament and 1,000 in cash prizes up for grabs. Hey, ESPN Milwaukee, this is Gary Ellison, inviting you to a 2-man scramble at the legendary Kapalua Plantation course, all played on Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center state-of-the-art simulators. Sign up now at wisconsindoorgolfcenter.com. It's just $120 per team, and you must get your round in by January 31st. Your chance to take on Kapalua Plantation course starts today.
Grab the dial and crank it up, baby, because Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee is spinning its Winning Hits collection. Over the next 3 months, you could win a share of over $1 million in prizes. On top of thousands in cash and reward play, you could win one of 3 new Ford vehicles in the grand finale drawings on March 27th. Just play with your rewards card to earn entries. Press play on the Winning Hits collection, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Is it time to buy an engagement ring?
Or a big anniversary diamond? Kessler's has diamonds that come from diamond mines. And we also have diamonds that come from plasma chambers.
When you see the size of the diamond you can afford when you look at our high-tech newborn created diamonds,
you're going to be happy, happy, happy.
And with approved credit, our financing plans make anything possible.
Our selection of engagement rings is beyond compare. And our custom design department can modify any ring in any way you choose. Anyone who says they can give you a better ring,
or a better diamond,
or a better price, has never been to Kessler's.
And our miraculous no small print warranty says,
If you bought it at Kessler's, it's guaranteed. It's just that simple. And all maintenance is free forever. No charge.
yes, it really is that miraculous.
You found a partner you want to share your life with. When you're ready to celebrate, we've got a diamond for that.
Find the Kesslers nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
It's time for the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart, located at 16th and National in Milwaukee. National Liquor Mart is packed with deals for all your beverage needs, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily.
The Bucks lost their third straight game Thursday night, falling 119-101 to the Spurs in San Antonio. The Bucks outscored 40-16 in the third quarter as San Antonio pushed the lead to as many as 39 points. The Bucks' back-to-back losses by a combined margin of 54 points is the largest margin over 2 games in franchise history. Giannis Antetokounmpo led the Bucks with 21, while Kyle Kuzma added 18. Head coach Doc Rivers after the game.
It was a make-miss league. I really loved the game plan. I thought we played the right way overall. I thought the fouling and then that last 6 minutes of the second quarter, they got away from us.
The Bucks now look to bounce back Monday at home against the Atlanta Hawks.
This has been the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart.
Start your Milwaukee weight loss program now to lose weight fast. Many lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two. Call for your free consultation. 262-235-3980. 262-235-3980 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Every child deserves a safe, loving, and permanent home. Help the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption find families for children who've lingered in foster care the longest. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
The Iceman was in action last night. This from Crow with the Cheese. Packer fan. Iceman's playoff run, 41 of 85.
Oh, wow. I'm not a mathematician, but that's less than 50%, ain't it?
402 yards.
Ooh, that's decent. 200
1 yards per game.
That's not terrible.
2 touchdowns. 5 interceptions.
Yeah, 4 touchdowns, though.
Yeah, I think he had 4.
4. He had 2 in each game.
Excuse me, 4 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and a sub-60 QBR.
Yikes.
But somehow, some way, this dude runs 25 yards back.
Unbelievable.
Looks up for a split second, throws a perfect ball, but then he can also, in the same breath, stand in the pocket and overthrow people. Fine, get the stats right. I don't care about the stats.
I mean, I do because they were so wrong, it's unbelievable. 47 of 90, which is 52%. 618 yards.
Okay, I'll go say, because he threw for 300 against us.
That must have been at halftime.
4 touchdowns, 5 interceptions.
Yeah.
There it is.
Regardless, he does the thing, and then he can't do a normal thing.
He is like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde type quarterback from the pocket. And for the first 3 quarterbacks, he's an objectively bad quarterback. However, in the fourth quarter, and when chaos and breakdown occurs, he might be the greatest quarterback of all time in that moment. I mean, it's like him, of all the quarterbacks in the NFL right now, in the fourth quarter, but more importantly, when things break down, it's like him and Patrick Mahomes. Like, those are the 2 quarterbacks that can do what he did last night. Now, the rest of the game, he stinks, but in those moments, he's inexplicable. He's unbelievable. So he doesn't suck, but I'm not sure that's a winning formula for the long term.
Listen,
it's not sustainable.
No, Bears fans.
That is not sustainable.
It is. That's painful. Bears fans must really like Magic because the man is a magician back there. Like, they get caught up in, again, he is not a bad quarterback, but he is extremely inconsistent at points in the game. He missed a lot yesterday. We saw him miss a lot against his first half against the Packers have been awful. Awful. In 3 games, he's been bad against the Packers. But people seem to ignore that because what does he do? He digs this hole, and he finds a way to almost dig himself out of it, and he makes absolute magic happen. But that, and Ben says, is not sustainable. It is not sustainable to be a championship-level quarterback. He is going to have to find a level of consistency to be able to put together more full games so he isn't an issue for his team because overall, when your quarterback turns the ball over 5 times in 2 games, that is a detriment to your football team. If he protects the football, then maybe there's a different end result. And the great thing about the Chicago Bears defense is though they suck, they have found a way multiple times this year to give their quarterback a chance, and the quarterback has capitalized on that. Now imagine if your quarterback was able to capitalize earlier so you're not in these late game situations. But again, Caleb Williams is the reason why the football team lost yesterday.
But like when the Packers play the Bears next year, are you scared?
I'm not scared, but I know it's going to be a hell of a game.
You better hold on to the fourth quarter.
That's the thing is I know for a fact.
Just keep him in the pocket. Keep him in the pocket, and he cannot complete passes.
Dude, I remember yelling the same thing to somebody on the Rams, and it wasn't Verse. I forget who it was, but I was just like, hold. Contain!
Yes,
don't overextend!
Hold, contain, keep him in the pocket, and he can't complete throws. When he starts running around and routes break down, he is sensational. Every time outside of that, he stinks.
I have a football question. What is the pocket considered? Is there like a into the pocket?
In between the tackles.
Okay.
From the moment the play starts, the tackles.
I'm asking that question because the boy ran 26 yards, and he stayed in between tackles.
Well, I mean, that's
is the pocket still 26 yards backwards?
I guess that was from the pocket.
It's absolutely incredible.
That was an incredible throw.
Off script to get the kid is special. Off script, but
again, I come back to we talked about like it's not like I look at him still and be like, again, can he develop into a really, really, really good quarterback? TBD? Yes, but he misses so many easy ones and creates the crazy one that, like, if the Packers are playing the Bears, I'm still pretty confident because there's still this just unknown of each play. And what I felt this year more than ever with Jordan Love was whenever he threw it, I never had to like go, ugh, or close my eyes and hope for the best. If you're playing a quarterback that makes you do that, that's when you know you want to go against them. And I'm still in the phase of Caleb Williams is the ball he's throwing. I'm like, ooh, something might happen here for the other team.
If you have a bad thing, like a tick, a vice, like for me, when I'm watching Packers games, I get nervous. I'll start munching. Sometimes I'll start
Mr.
biting.
Chips.
Crunch. Listen, if you are a Bears fan and you got one of them bad habits, either you're fat or your fingernails are already chewed all the way down because that is a nervous type game that you're watching when you're watching Caleb Williams. But you made a great point with Jordan Love is that I'd rather have Jordan Love where I understand I'm going to get a level of consistency because at the end of the day, you don't know 100% what you're going to get from Caleb Williams. I'd rather have the level of consistency that we saw from Jordan Love. You look at the playoffs this year, the kid threw for 323 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. The Packers lost that game because the defense did not hold up and the play calling wasn't what it needed to be. The offensive line didn't hold up. That's why they lost against the Chicago Bears. But I'd rather have that level of consistency where I know that my quarterback is going to give me an opportunity to be in the game the whole game versus having to hope and pray that we're going to have some miracle heave on fourth down in order to keep us alive. I love drama. I do. But I couldn't do that drama every Sunday.
You can just do your drama on your TV shows.
Yeah, where I can laugh at it because it doesn't impact whether or not my team wins or lose. Yeah, that's too much.
Let's go to Corey, our guy down in Chicago. Corey, you're up on the Carbless Talking Text line with KBN.
Hey, what up, guys? How y'all feeling today, man?
What's up, Corey?
Great.
Hey, man, anytime I watch a Bears game with Bears people, man, it's just comedy, man. Like y'all saying about them coming back, man. All that drama, you know, it's cool and all, but like I tell Bears fans in Chicago, it's not a sustainable success for football. All you got with Caleb Williams, man, he's like to me, he's like a Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa type quarterback. He either gonna hit a home run or he gonna strike out. Ain't no such thing with singles and doubles with this guy. And I mean, I tell Bears fans, y'all can't be talking about Packer quarterbacks because hey, you just started being relevant this coming season.
Well, I think that's what's going to be interesting here, Corey, is what they do with their first place schedule after being 2-4 in the NFC North. Like,
thank you.
Corey, what you cooking
up in the microwave?
No, I just had some That just took out some French toast, man.
Sounds delicious.
I just took out some French toast, but no, man. But yeah, like I tell them, man, y'all got a first place schedule next year. Hey, y'all got to keep doing what you're doing because hey, for the last 15 years of even being a Packers fan, but I've been a Packers fan longer than that. But I'm giving it 15 years. I don't want to go 30 because that'd be too much for them.
There's our guy Corey down in Chicago enjoying some French toast. What a great time for French toast.
Just a little snack.
After 3 o'clock French toast. Does anyone have 3 o'clock French toast?
I made breakfast burritos at about 4 o'clock last night, but
4 o'clock
a breakfast for dinner.
Not
I
last
can get
night.
well,
That's
so
like
I did
in the evening.
steak, egg, and potato and cheese burritos. Pretty good. I did good. But
is that your dinner?
It ended up being my dinner.
Is there anything you do that you don't think is good?
Good, yes. Everything's great.
Everything.
Oh, I made my linguine last night.
All right, we're back in 2 minutes. Strofe is going to tell Brad, who was the only one who will listen to him about his cooking during the break. We're back in 2 minutes. And apparently, Rob Domofsky also hinted at coaching changes. Not for Matt LaFleur, but people under him in 2 minutes.
4 years. That's enough time to earn a college degree, to serve a full term as a president, to train for something big and become someone new.
You bet, and get 0% interest for 4 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, so you can invest in your home and in life's biggest moments. With exclusive features and customizations, Pella offers the highest quality products at a price you can afford.
Aim high when setting your New Year's resolution, and imagine what you can do in 4 years when you finance your home project with Pella. Visit PellaWI.com today.
At Associated Bank, we know running a business is tough enough, so our business is making your business banking easy. That's why we make sure it speaks your language. Business and consumer-linked accounts? How about all your banking all in one place with one login account? $50 overdraft grace zone? Think of it as a I never said I was a CFO grace zone. And maintenance fee-free account? Well, free is always good. At Associated Bank, we get you. That's why we've got you. Learn more at associatedbank.com/YouGotThis. Member FDIC.
When winter hits Wisconsin hard, Safe Plow hits back. Founded by two locals who know winter inside and out, Safe Plow delivers no-tolerance snow removal, meaning they're on it before, during, and after every storm for hospitals, retail centers, and all businesses that can't afford downtime. From small driveways to massive parking lots, Safe Plow's dedicated team keeps your property clear, safe, and accessible, prioritizing handicap ramps and disabled parking every time. At Safe Plow, they handle the blizzard, you handle your business. Serving Madison, Milwaukee, and all of southeastern Wisconsin. Book now at safeplow.com.
Homer here from ESPN Milwaukee. What makes living at Three Pillars so special? Let's hear from my friend Dave.
The campus is beautiful. For me, nature is my church, and I love being outside. We live by the Bark River, and it's just it's calming. It just calms my soul. I just love it. A lot of the people, I'm talking about 100-year-old people, 90 years old, say they credit Three Pillars with living longer.
Gabe Neitzel here. Catch Jen, Gabe, and Chewy morning 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN on ESPN Wisconsin. Here's Kyle Wallace, Ben Brust, and Brad Nortman.
Kyle Brust and Nortman, Strofe running the show. UKBN Nation on the Carbless Talk and text line 800-990-3776. Less is more. Get us on the ESPN Wisconsin app. So we heard from Rob Domofsky earlier in the show, and if you missed any of the first hour, go back on the ESPN Wisconsin app or YouTube, where Rob mentioned the negotiations for LaFleur took about a day or less to get that done. Now that LaFleur is the coach, I know I heard on Sunday Karma with Alex Strofe and Kyle Wallace yesterday from 10 to noon across ESPN Wisconsin. You guys were discussing what is next. Well, here's what Rob Domofsky thinks may be possible from your conversation of coming up with names and who could be next.
There's going to be some changes. Like they're not coming back with the same coaching staff. That's, last offseason, only the D-line coach was fired after last year. I think there'll be more than one coaching position change, whether it's coordinator, position coach, whatever.
I hear that from Rob Domofsky on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, and I still think about the teams that have exited early and fired coordinators, and how Rich Bisaccia is still employed by the Green Bay Packers. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. But this goes back to the fact that they were able to get the extension done for Matt LaFleur so quickly when they met on Friday and had steak and wine and massages up at Kohler and American Club. They're probably like, yeah, everyone, Rob says there's going to be changes, but it's not like there's like an urgency to be like, yeah, this wasn't good enough. Let's get these guys out of here.
The thought of them getting massages is hilarious. I'm sorry.
Well, I think back to when Jerry Jones hired Mike McCarthy and he had him stay at his house.
Yeah.
And now, Goody Policy and LaFleur are getting pedicures and robes.
I'm sure they are.
They weren't having a spa day. They were
they're having a spa. If you go to an
Club.
American Club, you're doing a spa day before your steak dinner. Well, the agent works with the... maybe Policy was busy, but LaFleur definitely got his mani-pedi.
Couples massage, you get massage in the same room. Maybe a triple massage. All guys in the same room getting massages. It's a bonding opportunity, Kyle.
I don't know what rich people do, of course. So.
But to your point, Ben, of course there's going to be changes made, but you're right. What is taking so long for Matt LaFleur to make these decisions? Because it sounds like it was a teed-up contract, easy negotiation, start, finish, it's done. Matt LaFleur should be making changes immediately, right now. And part of me is also, I can't help but find the irony in the fact that Ed Policy said, Matt LaFleur, congratulations, you've done a wonderful job. Here's your contract extension. Okay, now go fire everyone underneath you because that wasn't good enough.
There's we believe in you, but everyone else who you believe in,
But clearly everyone else on the staff has got to go. So there's no doubt that changes need to be made. And I'm just curious what kind of change that will make, because part of the reasons why I think so few teams win with a head coach after the 7-year mark, right? Only John Madden has been with the team this long, didn't win a Super Bowl, and then ended up winning a Super Bowl, is because you sort of get stuck in inertia. And no matter who, it's a new coach, new coordinator, it's the same level of inertia, it's the same verbiage, it's the same culture. And that's hard to bust through. That's why a new head coach sort of shakes up the whole organization, but that's not what we're going to have here. So I'm just curious, who's going to go? And who's he going to replace it with? Because those will be monumental questions. And he's going to have to give them a lot of, power to actually get these guys to listen and change their ways, because what's been happening hasn't been good enough.
Why would he give power? He just got an extension that he was, that's the hard part.
He's got to empower the coaches to actually get some change. But that is the irony. Congratulations, you did great. Here's your extension. Now fire everyone underneath you.
Yeah, no, I'm actually happy that Rob Domofsky talks with such conviction, because if Rob Domofsky says it with that level of conviction, there's going to be some shakeup on the staff, and I think on the offensive side of football, that's the first place that you have to start. I don't know much about Steno on what
at special teams.
Special teams, I think that's obvious. That is,
but if it's obvious, why not now?
Because listen, it's just like I said, we got to be patient. It's MLK Day. It's the holiday. You can't fire somebody on the holiday. Maybe
there's no holidays in the NFL.
That ain't what Dr. Martin Luther King wanted. He didn't want for Sean McDermott to get fired on this day. We supposed to be unified. And so it don't matter what he's gonna respect today. But by Wednesday, he's gonna be gone. And so overall, when I think about this, the offensive side of football, something has to change. I need somebody who's gonna be more innovative. I need somebody that's gonna be able to challenge Matt LaFleur. But I also need somebody as the offensive coordinator can help with in-game adjustments. Preparation. Matt LaFleur, as you talked about, Brad, he's A1 when it comes to preparation. It is somebody who can help him with the in-game adjustments that the Green Bay Packers seem to struggle with this season. Also, somebody who's creative, somebody who's willing to challenge him. I need for the offensive side to be a lot different than what it was this year, because for me with the Packers, we had our ups and downs. When we lost Tucker Kraft, it took a little bit of time for this offense to find this flow. They only scored 7 points against the Philadelphia Eagles. So I believe there needs to be a change on the offensive side of football. Steno, I believe, got promoted after Nathaniel Hackett left. We need to bring in somebody else from the outside who also can maybe lead a little bit and just take some of the weight off the shoulders of Matt LaFleur.
But you're taking all of his job responsibilities in-game, play calling and planning, and leadership.
You talking about Matt LaFleur?
Yeah, you're saying you need guys to help him with that.
Yeah, great. great coaches have great staffs around him. Again, I will reference the Denver Broncos. Why? Because I'm connected to him a little bit and I follow a little bit more. With Sean Payton, you have Vance Joseph, a former head coach on the defensive side. You have I just found out the QB coach, Davis Webb, is getting looks for a head coaching position.
Candidate,
and then
Kyle.
you have one of the best special teams coordinator in Rizzi, who Rob Demovsky talked about before, who's also there. You're talking about elite level coaches all up and down the staff. That helps Sean Payton lead. And so Matt LaFleur should be looking for people that can help him lead. Jeff Hafley being the leader of that defense helped Matt LaFleur a lot. It did, because Joe Barry, he sucked. Hafley came in. He was able to be a leader of men. He was able to create a scheme that worked out. So I'm just saying we need to get more people on the offensive side of football that can help elevate Matt LaFleur rather than him just dragging guys along.
I do find it interesting when I was watching the games yesterday, and I forget which coach it was. I want to say it was Vrabel. No, it wasn't Vrabel, but either way, there was a head coach that went to somebody in a late game situation, and I was like, man, I trust what's going on there. And I think back to Matt LaFleur and Rich Bisaccia, and I was like, I don't trust what's going on between those two.
Yeah,
so I do agree, Kyle. Whoever he brings in, same level of head coaching experience. It might have been Josh McDaniels and Mike Vrabel talking.
And Josh McDaniels, former head
coach. But we know he's a good offensive coordinator. That's just kind of what he's found his role in the NFL. But it's so hard for me to even know. Like, I know Rob Demovsky said there's going to be changes, but the way that the contract negotiation went down, it's hard for me to be like, yeah, all the changes that we think are going to happen are going to happen.
Yeah, and I hope that this is where Matt LaFleur feels a sense of pressure, a sense of urgency. And I'll be honest with you, too, Kyle, the staff that you talked about, the Sean Payton, that is an elite staff. I didn't realize Rizzi, special teams coach, was there too. He's an elite special teams coach. And Mike Vrabel forming a great staff underneath him. We talk about all the years of like Favre under Holmgren, like that coaching tree, Andy Reid's coaching tree. There is something to developing a staff. That's an important part of a coach. Who comes on as far as the Green Bay Packers will tell me what the outside thinks of Matt LaFleur and what this time, if he can attract some legit retreads, right, where it's like this guy's been a special teams coach forever, or this guy was a head coach and he's bringing in now as a consulting or whatever, however it's phrased. If you get some elite guys coming through the door, that tells me that they believe in Matt LaFleur and they believe in this team. If it's guys that are sort of unknowns and whatever, I also have more question marks.
Well, I think we talked about this before the extension. One thing that is going for Matt LaFleur in a positive light is because of the way the negotiation was so quick, it makes it seem from the outside that there is a true confidence that Matt LaFleur is going to be here longer than one season. And so that gives an opportunity to attract coaches to be like, yes, I want to be with Matt LaFleur, Jordan Love, and Micah Parsons, because obviously Hafley's looking at head coaching jobs. He's likely going to get one. And then you go down the list of all those head coaches that have been defensive coordinators that are going to, like the Raheem Morris, and you can go through that. You know, you want Al Harris. You've been screaming that to the high heavens.
Like Al. But I'll say this. You asked about whether he can attract guys. Rich Bisaccia, he was a really good special teams coordinator until he got here where coordinators come and where their careers die. And so he was able to attract somebody in the sense of that. He was able to get a college coach, a head coach in college. The landscape changed so much where Hafley's probably done with it, but he was able to attract him to go from being a head coach of a college program to being a defensive coordinator in the NFL. So I do believe there is some appeal to be able to play, to be able to coach on a staff with a team that is good, to be able to coach if you're an offensive guy, be able to work with Jordan Love. And granted, the offense has its ups and downs, but Josh Jacobs is a really good running back. You look at the wide receivers, none of them are true number ones, but you still have a great stable of receiving threats, even when you add in the tight ends as well. I think it should be a very appealing job to work under a coach like Matt LaFleur, who is looked at in the NFL, as Shefty said last week, some people consider him to be an elite level coach. Oh, well, NFL source.
Top 5 coach. That's a shocking statement.
It's shocking
statement.
But that just tells you overall in the league, he's well respected. He comes from a great coaching tree. So being able to get underneath a guy like that, all it takes is for this offense to take off, and what could happen to Nathaniel Hackett? Not even calling plays.
Yeah, that's true. I do think if there's one thing for Matt LaFleur that's like, okay, I think he's the best coach to develop Jordan Love. I think that Jordan Love will continue cooking. They got a good system. And if the Packers are ever going to win a Super Bowl, Jordan Love has to be MVP level. That's not the only thing they can have, but he has to be MVP level, and I think Matt LaFleur is best equipped to get him out of that.
Man, I learned a lot of the brains of Alex Strofe and Kyle Wallace yesterday on Sunday Karma yesterday.
Really?
Because something you guys talked about with Jason Wilde was the role of Goody in the comparison of like the injuries and the depth. But the main question I have for Jason Wilde coming up is how do they build that depth? Obviously, there's players you can cut and get the cap down, but like they're traditionally not super aggressive. They have their moments where they go big in free agency. They don't have a first-round pick. Whether you believe that's a good thing or bad thing because they've stunk with first-round picks, I think it's a good asset to have that they don't have if you're trying to build depth and players for your team to make a Super Bowl run in this window. So my question then would be, with the way the Packers are constructed, how do they get that depth that we saw fail when guys went down? Jason Wilde will be joining us next on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
Caleb Williams sucks.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Starting off with some delays westbound 94 from about 35th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. On the eastbound side, got some delays from 76th Street to Hawley Road, and that's pretty much it. We have a few broken down vehicles here and there, but they're all out of traffic. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, mostly cloudy skies, bitterly cold and breezy, a low of 1 below with a wind chill of 10 below to 15 below. And then tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high of 16. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Stay up to date on the green and gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit fighting to save lives, protect our climate, and strengthen our economy through the shift to zero emissions. Visit us at earthjustice.org. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center is teeing off the new year with another can't-miss tournament and 1,000 in cash prizes up for grabs. Hey, ESPN Milwaukee, this is Gary Ellison, inviting you to a two-man scramble at the legendary Kapalua Plantation course, all played on Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center state-of-the-art simulators. Sign up now at wisconsinindoorgolfcenter.com. It's just $120 per team, and you must get your round in by January 31st. Your chance to take on Kapalua Plantation course starts today.
Monica, we've got to hand it to you.
You and the design team have outdone yourselves.
Are you talking about the One collection?
Those rings say you are the one.
And they say it symbolically.
Describe the symbols.
Every ring in the One collection should be presented with a special ritual.
What would that ritual be?
You pick up her left hand and you place a kiss on her ring finger.
Rick, you never told me about that part.
Then you show her the tiny red diamond, flush mounted inside the ring, that will forever be in contact with her finger.
Why is it red?
Because that's when the giver says to the one, wherever you go, my heart goes with you.
I give you this kiss. I give you my heart.
The red diamond is a secret symbol of that sacred moment.
The center diamond on the outside of the ring is for the whole world to see.
But the tiny red created diamond inside the ring is only for the two of them.
The One collection of engagement rings is available exclusively at Kessler's.
To find the Kesslers nearest you,
visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Did you forget the first day of school is this week and little Nancy still needs her name embroidered on her backpack? Or the company shirts are due now, not next week? Maybe the boss just declared Steve's retirement party is today and the shirts are mandatory? Whatever the rush, Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more in Mequon has got you covered. With fast turnarounds, no minimums, eco-friendly printing, and high-quality custom apparel, Big Frog brings your custom ideas to life fast. Stop by Big Frog in Mequon or visit bigfrog.com/Mequon. Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more, where your ideas leap to life.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
He was not taken out of context. He said the whole thing.
Three-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year.
I don't think that means much, though. Like, it very rarely happens.
Holding everybody accountable.
They need to be more mature.
Jason Wilde is on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Joining us now is Jason Wilde. Listen to Jason on Wilde and Tausch, 9 to noon across these very stations. Rate him at Channel 3000. Jason Wilde, welcome into Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. How are you?
Good, guys. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. I had the opportunity to listen to a lot of Sunday Karma yesterday with Alex Strofe and Kyle Wallace and caught your portion of the show as well. And one thing that stood out to me was I thought it was a fair conversation to talk about the Niners' depth versus the Packers' depth, right? In terms of roster building, having more, players on the team that can be there if someone goes down to step up. My question to you, Jason, would be, how do you see the Packers building the depth with where their roster's at and the cap and free agency and no first-round draft pick? Like, how do you see them doing this in the offseason to get to a better place from a depth perspective?
Yeah, it's going to be a challenge. It's a really good question. I mean, I don't know how you go about doing that when you don't have a first-round pick. You're going to collect your compensatory picks a year from now, right? When Romeo leaves and Sean Ryan leaves and Rasheed Walker leaves and maybe Kingsley and Egbare leaves. So that's part of and Quay Walker leaves. So that'll be great for them in 2027. And they didn't trade Matt LaFleur for a second-round draft pick, so they're not getting that. I don't know. I think it's gonna be a challenge. Now they obviously rely on developing from within, and they've got young guys that they're counting on. But I was thinking about this in terms of the cornerback and the defensive end position, right? Think about, I think we all have at least held out hope, and there were some good signs late in the year, or slightly encouraging signs maybe, that maybe next season the light will go on brighter than it did, because I think it did go on to some degree for LVN. But they also have to decide by May 1st if they're going to pick up the 50-year option. I don't see any way they'd do that, right? I mean, if they didn't pick it up for Quay Walker, I mean, I guess they could. They picked it up for Devontae Wyatt.
Boy.
But that's a lot of money for some pretty limited production. So, are they going to re-sign Kingsley and Egbare, or is he going to walk too? Because if not, you're counting on two guys that were day 3 picks in Baron Sorrell, who I know whose dad thinks very highly of him in our YouTube comments.
99 will shine.
Indeed, that's exactly what he said. And Colin Oliver, who does not want to be referred to as Baby Micah, but could be having a pretty meaningful role after basically redshirting this season. But how else do you cultivate depth there, especially since it's hard for me to imagine Rashawn Gary still on the roster. So you're going to have to fill voids there. At corner, they can certainly restructure the deal that they inherited by claiming Trayvon Diggs on waivers from the Cowboys, but they're certainly going to carry him next year as is with his contract.
I think it's a $15 million cap hit.
Carrington Valentine is going into the last year of his deal. If he becomes more of a consistent tackler, maybe he's going to be a guy you want to keep around. But, I think Keyshawn Nixon kind of hinted at maybe wanting a new deal. I don't know how I feel about that. And so then you got that situation. So now you're at corner and you're at defensive end. You got corner.
I don't know about that.
You got corner, you got defensive end, you got defensive tackle. So there's 3 positions that you're not sure about. If you're going to let Walker walk, you are counting on Tyron Hopper to step in year 3 and play at a really high level, right? And that's on the defensive side of the ball. You feel good at safety. That's about it.
The only position you feel good, yeah.
Right. And then on offense, you're going to reconfigure your offensive line. You're going to let Romeo walk in free agency, but you're still going to be good at wide receiver. You probably want to figure something out at tight end because one of the guys that emerged as a serviceable, solid player for you, John Fitzpatrick, will be coming off a ruptured Achilles. So there's a lot of question marks, and they're not in, I read Ken Ingles' piece on Bill Huber's Sports Illustrated site. They're not in, cap hell, but they're not exactly in, hey, let's have a big spending spree cap space either. So for all the folks that want to criticize LaFleur and complain about LaFleur, and I totally understand they're frustrated, but give Goody a pass. This is a big offseason for Goody after he gets his contract extension now in the coming days.
Rob Domofsky on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy this morning said basically, coaching changes will be made underneath LaFleur now that LaFleur has his extension. I assume offense, defense with Hafley probably leaving their head coaching job, and special teams all will have major voids to fill. Offense, defense, special teams, Jason, which one is most important for Matt LaFleur to absolutely nail this offseason?
Well, I think they're all important, Brad. But I think the most important one will be defensively, because while they did not play well in the last time we saw Jeff Hafley defense for the final 15 minutes of that playoff game, I think they were pretty damn good for most of the year. And obviously they had Micah Parsons for much of it, which obviously makes you a better coach, and so does Xavier McKinney. But I do believe he's a really good coach. I'm not just, he's so good at press conferences. I think he's legit, and that's why he's going to get a head coaching job. So I think you got to hit that out of the park. So far, when it comes to defensive coordinators, LaFleur inherited Pettin, who, by the way, was probably underrated for the job he did, right? Then he hired Joe Barry, which was, I know there are some numbers that are similar to where their defense ended up ultimately this season, but I don't think they're even in the same conversation, him and Joe Barry and Jeff Hafley. And then he got Hafley. So this is a big one. That's a big hire. Now, you've heard me say many times that if they're going to make changes on the offensive staff, I think it's going to be offensive line for one. And then if they go a different direction with the offensive coordinator, I'm really eager to see what Matt LaFleur's decision-making and philosophy are. Do I get someone that I'm familiar with? Do I make Luke Getsy that guy since I brought him back? Do I make Nathaniel Hackett that guy since I brought him back? Or do I think outside the box and hire someone else? I know I am enamored with Mike McDaniel because he's a guy that has worked with LaFleur, that has worked in this offense, but if you watch his history, he's got different ideas. They're all variations of this, whether it's Shanahan, whether it's McVay, and I think Matt LaFleur needs some different flavor to what he does. I'm not saying he should change his system, but if you get a guy who has never worked in Green Bay before and brings new ideas but is in the same system, I think that would be logical. So special teams, look, I know everybody likes to trash Rich Bisaccia, and he has certainly not done for the special teams what he was advertised to do. But I think this is more systemic than who the coordinator is. The belief in always having one of, if not the youngest roster of your depth, always being young developmental guys. And then when you lose guys like Zane Anderson and Bo Melton and Christian Welch and Nick Neiman, and you let Eric Wilson leave in free agency back to Minnesota, when you lose guys that are core special teams guys, then the depth is really poor and inexperienced behind them, and that makes it hard for your coverage and your blocking units to be good enough.
I 100% agree with that, Jason. But, Jason, looking back at the fact that LaFleur did get this extension, what do you think was the biggest factor that contributed to bringing him back on that multi-year deal?
I think the belief that he is a good coach and that they believe in stability. I had heard in a couple of different places this thing about how no coach other than John Madden has gone to his first Super Bowl later than LaFleur would. LaFleur's going into his 8th season. Madden went to the Super Bowl and won it in his 8th season. But then I looked up, and it was actually at Stroh's urging, the track record of a Pro Football Hall of Fame coach named Bill Cowher. And he did go to a Super Bowl earlier in his tenure. He also had some really lean years. Like, I think he had 3 straight years where they didn't even make the playoffs. And then, obviously, they win Super Bowl, what was that, Super Bowl 40?
Yeah, I think so.
Against the Seahawks with Big Ben.
Mike Holmgren.
And again, yeah, against Mike Holmgren. And they got, by the way, Mike Holmgren and the Seahawks got hosed in that game, if I remember correctly. So good for Bill. But my point is that I do think that it's possible that stability can be rewarded with a championship. I think the biggest thing to me is that you made the move for Micah. You think your quarterback is in a really good spot and is ascending and is going to continue to do so. And he's got a good rhythm and a good connectivity with his head coach and offensive play caller. And so I think they looked and said, look, if we don't have the injuries we had, we're a Super Bowl contender. Maybe we lose in the NFC Championship game. But I think, and I in fact, I don't think I know that Ed Policy really thought that they were a better team than it turned out to be because of the injuries, and that they are all in to win. And he thinks that Matt LaFleur, I will also say this, I got a lot of grief from people that don't want LaFleur to be the coach for doing a story on Channel 3000 where I talked to all these prominent players on Locker Room Cleanout Day about LaFleur. And I don't think the folks that complained about the story fully appreciated the fact that, as we talked about last week, you can give hollow words to praise the coach so you don't look like you're saying you don't want him anymore, but you're certainly not giving him a enthusiastic vote of confidence. And I'm telling you, he did not lose the locker room. He may have lost a third of the fan base who's really disappointed that he's back, but he did not lose his players.
Jason,
and I think that's really important.
Jason, quickly, you said Ed Policy believed that this team was on its way to being a really good team if it wasn't for injuries. How do you know that?
Because I talked to a bunch of people about it.
All right. You listen, you speak in my language, Jason. I just like to have more ammo when I tell these guys stability matters and that this team definitely, in my view, was a Super Bowl contending team until injuries derailed the season.
Yeah, they're going to say that both you and me and Ed Policy are wrong.
Jason, Kyle Wallace, and Ed Policy.
Great company.
All in the same
Walk
sentence.
into a bar.
Great company.
Sounds like the new silo in Green Bay as Jason Wilde joins us here on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. So I think when people hear the word stability, it feels like I'm seeing YouTube, text, I know you get tweets. It feels like there's a word being thrown on, I've used it, complacency. How do you fight when people say, well, we're just going to get the 7 seed or it's going to be the same thing over and over?
Yeah, I don't fight them. They can think whatever the hell they want. Like, I'm done now, right? They've extended LaFleur. If you're in the crowd that's pissed and you're in the YouTube comments, have at it. Keep going. I don't care. I never said that I don't think that there's anything wrong with what he's done. Like, he deserves criticism. He needs to make some staff changes. He needs to be better in big games. All I said was I didn't think he deserved to be fired. I also said after the game on our drive back from Chicago on that Saturday night that at that time I have a hard time seeing how he keeps his job because of how gut-wrenching that loss was. And again, talking with people that knew what Ed Policy was thinking and were part of conversations with him, I think that they believe that they did the right things this season, and a lot of the bad stuff that happened wouldn't have happened if they had just gotten a little more fortunate with the injuries. And I don't want to hear The 49ers, God bless them, man. They got to the NFC divisional round with all those injuries, and then we finally saw them have enough injuries where and then they got run out of Seattle, right? By a quarterback that could barely throw. And their defense was great against the 49ers, but they ran out of steam. The Packers lost the two pieces that I would argue they couldn't afford to lose. And I say that, and again, I am a huge Jordan Love believer that he is a very good quarterback. I have not put him in the elites or the MVP or Hall of Fame, all those other categories. But I think they might have been able, with the way we saw Malik Willis play, to have survived better without Jordan Love than they were going to survive without Parsons and Kraft. That was what I thought. Now, if you disagree with that, I'm fine with that too. But I'm telling you that inside the building, it's not complacency. And I talked to one person that was part of this whole process that said, look, we traded for Micah Parsons.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how are we complacent, or how do we not care about winning when we do that? And I don't have an answer for him because, again, I understand the results aren't there. And ultimately, this is a results business. But when you make a move like that, are you telling me that there wasn't risk involved? If you want to be complacent and keep being a 7 seed and keep the status quo, and as long as we're making money and as long as we're making the playoffs, we're not missing the playoffs, that's good enough for us, then what the hell are you trading for Micah Parsons for? Because if what happened this year, it wasn't the worst case scenario, but there is a scenario where he suffers an injury and then has kind of the post-ACL career that Rashawn Gary had where he never regained his form. Now, I don't expect that from Micah, but now you gave up 2 first-round picks on a 3-time Pro Bowl defensive tackle for a guy that's not going to put you over the top. Ask the Bears if there's risk involved.
Yeah, sure.
They did the same thing for Khalil Mack in 2018. Got him to the playoffs 2 of the 4 years that Khalil Mack was there, but they didn't get to a Super Bowl. They had the quarterback wrong and everything else. But, I'm sorry. I know it's frustrating. I get it. And I'm not wired like you are as fans, not you guys, but the people in the YouTube comments, which I'm not logged into to watch. I get it. You view the team through a different lens than me. But you can criticize them. You can question decisions in personnel. You can question coaching decisions. I am telling you that these people care as much as you do about winning. And so they're not complacent. They make mistakes. They screw stuff up, or they have good game plans that their players don't execute on one side of the ball or the other. But the idea that Matt LaFleur, Brian Gutekunst, Russ Ball, and Ed Policy don't give a damn about winning and they just want to be good-ish, I'm telling you that's not how they're wired. And I know you're frustrated, but be frustrated with tangible things like the mistakes that are made and say we got to be better. Don't be frustrated and think, oh, because they're not achieving what I want them to achieve, they must not care as much as I do as a fan, because they do care.
Well, what's done is done. We're going to see what they do about it in the offseason to make this team even better for Matt LaFleur. We appreciate the time, Jason.
All right, guys.
What just happened?
What happened to take care, be good? Be good. Take care.
Get him back on the line.
Did you do that?
I swear to God, I did not touch a thing. You can literally look at me, run back the tape. I need it. I can't go 2 in a row.
Because Jason Cook.
I'm not going to break. We need it.
Jason Cook. Thank you, Jason.
It doesn't feel complete.
It doesn't feel complete.
I've been trying to say this. You literally lost 3 Pro Bowl type players, and everybody act like that's not a big deal.
What happened? Did you accidentally press the red button?
I didn't press anything. Jason's back.
The call just dropped.
Oh,
wow.
We need the final end here.
Yes, we do, Jason.
Oh, okay. Screw you, Ben Brust.
Yeah, that's even better.
You know what? I don't need to take care of you. There it is.
That was even better. Who did he do that on his own?
Wow,
What do you think?
I was not prepared for that.
Oh, Strofe, did you get it? Did you get in his ear?
No, I didn't tell him to do
He did
that.
not.
Wow.
He's still here.
That was off the cuff. All right, guys. Take care. Be good.
That's Jason Wilde. I'll still be a great teammate, you know. And Wilde and Tausch 9 to noon across these very stations. Rematch Channel 3000.
He cooked.
We will react to everything Jason just shared with us. On the other side, it's Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin with complacent Kyle Wallace.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
You said, I'm really down in the dumps. Nobody gave me a compliment on my new sweater. So, yeah, we're gassing you up, handsome. You go, King.
Look at that.
King. On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Westbound 94's off-ramp to Moreland Road is closed right now because of a crash. You're going to see some delays heading through that area. Westbound 94 otherwise backing up from 35th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound slowing from 76th Street towards Hawley Road. A couple of incidents on the roadways. Violators pulled over to the side. That means flashing lights and folks are going to slow down a bit. One on southbound 94 right at the collector ramp near the airport spur. And then another one eastbound 894 at 76th. And check out the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, mostly cloudy, bitterly cold, breezy, a low of 1 below, and a wind chill of 10 below to 15 below. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high of 16. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Brewers mini ticket plans for the 2026 season are available now with 6-game, 12-game, and build-your-own-plan options. You can pick or build the best plan for your schedule, whether you're gearing up for tailgates under the sun, the thrill of the home runs, or the eruptions of walk-off wins. Brewers mini plans have you covered for the 2026 season with specially discounted ticket rates and more exclusive perks in each plan. Check out all the mini plan options available for 2026 now at brewers.com/ticket plans.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
People say buying a home in winter is tough.
But fewer buyers means less competition, and motivated sellers can mean better opportunities.
This is Tony Wendorf with Tony Wendorf & Associates, powered by Keller Williams.
And I'm Lindsay Bendler. When the perfect home appears, our team at Tony Wendorf & Associates helps you move fast, even during the snow.
Start your home journey today with our white glove service by simply searching online, Tony Wendorf.
A real estate team that always leads with faith and gratitude.
Tony Wendorf & Associates.
Big trucks can be intimidating. If you've been seriously injured in a truck crash, call Gruber Law Offices today. Trucking law can be extremely complicated. You don't want to take on the insurance company alone. Gruber Law Offices has the experience, the resources, and of course, the results. We know truck law. We know the rules and regulations. We know what it takes to win. Call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
This is Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, letting you know that Siding Unlimited installs Pella windows and doors. That's right, Siding Unlimited installs windows, and we do it really well, earning the prestigious Pella Platinum Premier National Certified Contractor of the Year award 5 times. New windows, our expert team will deliver on a smooth, hassle-free installation, making you feel proud of calling Siding Unlimited for your window project. What's the next step? Call 262-567-4513 or go to sidingunlimited.com.
$2.3 million. A recent Schwab survey of Americans says that it takes $2.3 million to be wealthy. Well, you may have had your financial plan set on a bigger or a more humble number. But if you're looking for added insights on how to get there or how to avoid some tax pitfalls on the way, Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen. Mark Tauscher here, and whether your situation is complex or simple, the Annex Wealth Management team can give you wealth expertise and guidance on reaching your goals. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
We need the final end here.
Yes, we do, Jason.
Oh, okay. Screw you, Ben Brust.
Kyle and Strofe were so happy that happened.
Somebody's got to set you straight.
For what? I just asked a simple question. Fans think stability and complacency might not be a good thing moving forward. And he said a third of the people just can live in that world.
I do. I mean, it is a... It's
Kyle, Brust, and Nortman
Stability
with you.
and complacency aren't mutually exclusive, though.
Okay, whatever. Is the overall point of those are two different things that people are saying that they keep bringing up, and some people don't think the stability that the Packers are doing right now by bringing LaFleur is a good thing, and there's a level of complacency by doing so.
I think it is how you brand this move, and I would even say it's probably more than a third of Packer fans. I mean, from when this news came out, a couple of texts that I received from Packer fans, I know that Kyle and Stroke, maybe you guys feel a little bit different, but it was not met with excitement, right? I mean, normally you'd be like, oh, we're extending a coach in his 7th year. That must mean that we really got a good coach. And Matt LaFleur is a really good coach, so there's some truth to that. But there is like this branding of stability and staying the course and relevancy that I think is very Green Bay Packer-centric, but it can be misconstrued as like we're content with where we're at.
Look, if I break it out in thirds, there's a third that are still going to be upset the entire year that he's the coach. There's a third that had his back no matter what and wanted him back, and there's probably a third that were kind of in the middle, kind of in the lane of I was really upset after that Bears game, but I look around the league. Is there anyone that would have replaced him that I've been happy with? So they extended him, and now I'm on board with.
Is that middle third where it's like I want Matt LaFleur to be the guy. He clearly has some capability, and he's clearly a good coach. But like you just wonder how long is enough, and is there an upgrade?
I think a big thing is Diana Rossini reported this week is somebody around the NFL said about the Green Bay Packers and Matt LaFleur. She said somebody told her everyone is being dramatic about getting this thing done. It's getting done. Dumb organizations do dumb things. The Packers aren't dumb. The Packers are not a dumb organization. Now, Brad, he played in the NFL for two dumb organizations. And why I say that...
Hey.
You can say, hey, all you want, but the Packers haven't seen the lows that the Carolina Panthers have seen and the Jags have seen in our lifetime. And so, again, yes, did the Panthers go to a Super Bowl more recently than Green Bay Packers? They sure did, but they were down in the dumps more recently. So what do Packers fans want? Do they want to lose in a Super Bowl, or do they want to have an opportunity to go to a Super Bowl every single year? That's what it comes down to. If you want this level of stability and consistency, you go ahead and you stick with Matt LaFleur. This is not a forever thing. This is a show me what you got thing. And again, 2-3 years from now, this will be reevaluated. And if he does what we hope he does and what Ed Policy expects him to do, he'll be the coach for however long he wants. If he does not, guess what? Everybody will get their wish.
It's a critical 2 or 3 years, though, because you're going to have Micah Parsons' prime and Jordan Love's prime. So, there was some pressure on Ed Policy to make sure you get the right guy in place, because in 2 or 3 years, Parsons' prime will have already passed, and Jordan Love will still be in his prime, but sort of on the back end of his prime. You won't get those years back. So it's just another message to be sent to Matt LaFleur, like, this is the time to strike while the iron's hot, because in 2 or 3 years, if you get a new coach then, the team will have a little bit different of complexion. You better have built some other superstars along the way, because your current superstars won't be as good as they once were.
We will all see how this season unfolds together, and I know you keep saying 2 to 3 years, but I still, despite whatever that extension is, know that based off the emotion of how this season ended, if it's anywhere near similar, it will probably end up a little bit different.
Ben Brust, you don't know squat. Screw you.
Screw you, Kyle. No one can have an opinion unless it's the right one unless the right one meaning Kyle's opinion.
That's fact.
And Jason's opinion, because you guys are locked in the head.
Happen to be aligned on this.
Jason, Ed Policy, and Kyle Wallace.
You just led your opinion with, in the next 2 years, I know.
Yeah, I do.
You don't know squat.
Yeah, you're right.
Squat.
You're right. I just have to take everything that the reporters say and just listen to it. That's what I got to do. Okay, sounds good. Can't have an opinion anymore.
Insider information, baby.
We'll wrap up the show next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
We were going to extend more invites, but I just jumped the gun for some reason at the meeting because I thought I was being like funny and personable, and I just don't know how to read the room. I was like, oh, this guy who doesn't know me is going to think it's hilarious that I'm with Josh, and I'm saying, hey, Josh, you didn't get the first round invite. Suck it.
In what world would that person find that funny, though?
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Truth Nation, mark your calendars for Friday, February 20th, as we will be hosting our second annual Truth Community Awards, hosted by the legendary Home Blow and Bailey Cope. Tickets are on sale now. Visit 1017truthawards.com to learn more. The Truth Community Awards are sponsored by Milwaukee College Prep, the Milwaukee Bucks, Gruber, Steinhoffels, Cousin Subs, and 3rd Street Market Hall. Come celebrate with us on Friday, February 20th at the Truth Community Awards from 5:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Do not miss out on the best community awards event of the year.
You've already put in the work. Now there's a way to make it count towards your degree. At Lakeland University, your work and life experience can earn you college credit, helping you finish faster, saving time and money. With flexible evening and online classes, plus multiple start dates, Lakeland fits your life. Study 100% online at one of our 6 locations across Wisconsin or on our residential campus in Sheboygan County. Customize your degree to fit your life, your goals, your future, without missing the moments that matter, at work or at home. Your experience matters here. Lakeland University. Experience it your way.
Rick, tell Sarah about the practical joke you came up with.
Okay, Sarah, this is really great. Are you ready?
Rick, I'm always ready. I walk around in a constant state of readiness.
A man buys a woman a pair of diamond stud earrings from Kessler.
He bought them at Kessler's, remember?
When you buy diamond stud earrings from Kessler's,
And we have them for $180 to $24,000 a pair.
you always get 100% of the price you paid when you trade up for a larger pair.
He just pays the difference.
He just pays the difference.
I love practical jokes. When do I get my first pair?
For the Kessler's nearest you, go to KesslersDiamonds.com.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Game Night, so for Events by Design. Events like appreciation parties and retreats can go a long way towards boosting morale and retaining top talent. Events by Design is your go-to creative partner for employee events that truly make an impact. They help leaders retain top talent by making their people feel seen, valued, and celebrated. The creative team at Events by Design does all the planning and production, making sure things not only look great, but also work. Make a smart investment in your culture today. Search online, Events by Design. They design, you party.
Hey y'all, it's the Rocket Roger Clemens here. Spent a lot of time pitching heat. Years later, the pain in my joints remind me of those days, but I'm not looking to sit still, and I definitely am not interested in going under the knife. That's why I chose QC Kinetics.
Not just for elite retired athletes. QC Kinetics gives everyday folks joint pain relief using regenerative treatments that work with your body to help repair joint damage.
No surgery, no long recovery, whether it's your knees, hips, shoulders, or back. My friends at QC Kinetics will help you get moving again so you can get back to doing the things you love.
QC Kinetics medical professionals will look at your x-rays or MRI to determine if you're a good candidate.
I trusted QC Kinetics to help me feel like myself again, and I'm proud to recommend them to you.
Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
Homer here with a message about 3 Pillars Senior Living Communities located on a serene setting along the Bark River on 300 gorgeous acres. 3 Pillars Senior Living Communities is a top-ranked full continuum community. Active adult, independent living, assisted living, memory care, skilled nursing, and rehab. 3 Pillars, the hands-down choice for you or your loved one. Been there. Know people who live there. They love it. You gotta go to Dousman and see it in person. Get all the info on 3 Pillars at 3pillars.org.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
A quick stat of the day. Thanasis Antetokounmpo has received more votes for the All-Star game than Trae Young, Miles Bridges, and Andrew Wiggins.
Yeah!
That's right.
Man of the people.
Yay.
Man of the people.
That's right.
Kyle, Brust, and Nortman wrapping up the ESPN Wisconsin portion.
He should do the dunk contest.
He just came off a torn Achilles.
That makes it even more intriguing.
Does it?
It's actually not a bad point.
I know you got a gripe with Kyle Strophe.
Yeah, I got a bone to pick.
Me? What did I do? We had a good day yesterday on Sunday Karma.
We did have a pretty good show. I would agree with that. But I've been thinking about this for a while. And, you know, we spent the entirety of our show prep today of you going, oh, maybe I will go to Denver because my cousin plays for the Broncos. And, oh, you know, it'd be really cool if I got to go on the field after if they won in the AFC Championship game. And, you know, Broncos this, Broncos that. You brought up Sean Payton on the show. You're
right. He did go deep into the Sean Payton coaching tree.
Cool, Kyle.
You developed a brand here, and I think it's a phony-ass brand, but it was your brand that was developed when this show was put together, that Kyle Wallace is ESPN Wisconsin's biggest Packer backer this, Packer backer that. And you know what, Kyle? You know what happened? You know what happened this year, Kyle Wallace?
What happened?
You put on a Broncos sweatshirt and then a Broncos jersey the week of the Packers-Broncos game. What happened that week? Micah Parsons tore his ACL, and the Packers didn't win another game.
You blaming me for this? How dare you? How dare you?
Ever since the Packer backer this, Packer backer that, the phony-ass Packer backer on this program put on another team's gear, the Packers didn't win another game.
Now, let me got too close to Micah. You were at that game in person. You got too close to Micah, and that tore his ACL.
Let me jump in, Kyle, real quick. I think that Alex Strofe is coming at you because he couldn't dream of having a relative with athletic ability to make it into the NFL.
Oh, wow. That, sir, is 100% accurate. But no, I mean, I'll full transparency, I know it's not my fault that the Packers haven't won a game, but it has been on my mind since I donned that Broncos hoodie with my cousin's number and name on the back and his jersey on this show. My Packers haven't won a game. And it's
not willing to take any responsibility?
Wait,
it's not
Strofe, did you mention that? Did I miss that?
No, he did.
I mentioned it twice.
Think about that.
0-5.
We would have never dreamed that going into that game, the Packers wouldn't win again.
They lost out.
We were a win away from making money off the Packers.
Yeah,
we thought
were.
What do you mean? Easy
yeah, you
money.
owe me money, Kyle.
Oh, now, wait a minute. I do not owe you money. You better talk to Matt LaFleur. He got a lot more.
Instead of screw Ben, now it's a lot of screw Kyle on the Carlos Talking text line.
You know, I didn't know. I didn't expect that to happen. I can't take the blame though. It wasn't me. It comes to the team. I mean, Michael Parsons got hurt and everything went kibosh, kaboom. I'm still a Packers fan. I love my Packers, but I mean, it would be pretty cool. It will be pretty cool to be on if they do happen to win behind Jared Stidham, and if I do go and I can get that's what they call him.
You don't even call the Packers quarterback by his nickname, Pookie, and you're calling the Broncos backup quarterback by his nickname.
Good point, Strofe.
His name is Jordan Love. Nobody calls him Pookie but his girl. And I ain't his girl.
That is entirely inaccurate.
Okay, who called him Pookie?
Who calls him Pookie?
Have you been on the internet?
Yeah, I don't know why the internet keep calling him Pookie. I call him Jordan
I call him Pookie.
Yeah, I don't remember him saying call me Pookie. Do you?
Yeah, but that's his nickname.
Yeah,
Pookie.
okay. Anyways, I don't take blame for anything. It ain't my fault. It's the Packers' fault. I ain't got nothing to do because I put on something. Come on now.
So,
and y'all trying to get me to put on the Bears jersey?
Well, that would be funny.
Cap decided to.
But it's like Tory Lowe's. What's this thing called?
His modulation. What is it?
The frequency module.
Frequency module. Yeah, it got thrown off.
Yeah, you definitely didn't help it.
The universe was on a certain tilt. It tilted a different direction.
Maybe
Kyle
next
put on
year.
Denver here.
Well, maybe next year.
Obviously, if you haven't heard, Matt LaFleur has been extended. The majority of the time, Kyle and Strofe are probably more of the, yes, I agree with this, stability, and Alex chimes in. I have had better ways to defend Jordan Love than Kyle and Strofe with Matt LaFleur. So people think that they can do a better job defending Matt LaFleur than you, and they don't even believe in Matt LaFleur.
Sure. Go right ahead. But Matt LaFleur.
You sound like Jason Wilde now.
No, because no.
Hey, you guys go play your own game over there.
Yeah, you know, it's
Kyle and Strofe. Okay, so we got a minute left of the show. We know now Matt LaFleur's extended. The Packers go how far next season?
The Packers go to the NFC Championship as a minimum next year.
Okay, mark that.
Yeah, mark it.
Strofe?
Yeah, go right ahead.
If they're healthy, I think they go to the Super Bowl.
He loves a good caveat. He can't just say it.
And specifically, 5 players. Kraft, Love, Jacobs, Parsons, Cooper.
Tom?
Those 5. I was thinking of Tom or Cooper. Those 6.
Oh, gosh.
All right. Let's add a seventh and an eighth player to that, too, while we're at it.
All 6 of those guys were hurt during this season, too.
Okay.
Coming up next in Madison, you have Jim, Matt, and Molly. Beaver Dam, you have, I think, the Damn Sports Show. Right here on 94.5 ESPN, you have Marquette College Game Day into Marquette. Pregame into Marquette basketball at 5 o'clock with Homer and the Hall of Famer. We'll talk to you tomorrow. It's Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. Peace.
ESPN's the show that never ends.
Westbound 94's off-ramp